Quickly to the air is Wilson. He'll dump this off to Akers.
Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
Well, this defense for the Seahawks, terrific last week in the season opening victory.
And what keyed their victory? The pass rush. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks, and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well. Hard to throw the ball.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Well, sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off.
Myers connects on the PAT, and that makes the score 7-0. Shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away.
He will return this from deep in the end zone, and ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive.
Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally, because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated, because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
On second down, Wilson looking deep downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
They geared up and took the deep shot downfield, but it turned out it wasn't one-on-one coverage. Extra defenders in the area, and that one winds up incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Wilson to throw.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted.
And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
And partner, I think this is where long-term starters in the NFL separate themselves from the rest of the pack, because there's still 3 full quarters left in this one. More than enough time to move past a pair of early mistakes and find a way to lead your team to a win. Mental resiliency, a characteristic every NFL team's looking for in their quarterback.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Walker now on 1st and 10.
And a short gain down to about the 33.
Ball at the 33, 2nd and 9.
1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9.
And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A very early momentum changer there. Actually a dream killer for the defense, because they forced a 3rd down. Felt like they had a good chance to get off the field defensively, and then they got hit with that big play.
chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Here's Walker. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
Brings up 2nd and goal.
Off play action. Moyer. And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawks touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Seahawks go up by 2 touchdowns. His first career touchdown pass, and it's cliche to say, but he's probably been envisioning this since he was a little kid. That's a cool moment.
It really is. So enjoy the moment, enjoy the time, celebrate, save the full reflection for later, but make sure you grab someone on the sidelines and say, hey, make sure I get that football, okay?
Extra point up and through by Myers. And that'll make the score 14-0. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. Steps away.
That is complete downfield to Knox.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a 1st down.
Good job there of getting his tight end involved because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a 1st down.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. They go play action now. Wilson.
Going right back to Knox, and again a completion.
Yeah, he's got to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Hook up of 15 yards there. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left.
39-yard line.
To throw is Wilson. And that one going to be off target and incomplete.
You talk about this Seahawks defense.
Well, this unit, very tough to throw against. Currently 2nd best in the NFL.
And hey, they were stingy in the opener. Didn't allow much of anything at all through the air. So now they come into week 2 saying, hey, let's see if we can do even better. Let's go ahead and get to that number 1 spot.
Here's the sneak with Wilson.
And he's going to have a Rams 1st down, at least at first glance, as he'll spot the football just beyond the marker. They find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the first down.
And as we say often, shows confidence in your offensive line.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. And they'll send Kupp in motion right. And they'll get it forward to him on a touch pass. Oh, that is well read defensively. A great job of setting the edge, and that little touch pass is going to turn into a loss.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the Seahawks 17-yard line.
Here's Wilson. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Charles, it is pretty rare that we see a team build this kind of lead in the opening quarter. And, man, they seem to be clicking on all 3 phases right there. The defense doing its part with a pick 6.
And it's absolutely been the definition of a start that you would pick for yourself and for your team, right? And I have a feeling that they just want to stay in this zone. What's truly incredible about this start is they can add on a couple more scores. This one could legitimately be over in the 2nd quarter.
Myers connects on the PAT, and that makes the score 21-0.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down.
They'll begin on the ground with Akers.
And they'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
So from the 26-yard line, here's 2nd and 3. On the handoff, it's Akers.
He takes this for 3 to the 29.
You talk about this Seahawk defense.
They come into this one ranked number 5 in the NFL against the run.
We know it's only week 1, but the results look pretty good so far. The key is, can they do it week in and week out? Because right now, they're not awarding any championships or trophies after 1 week of performance. Got some nice young faces playing for them. Let's see if they can get this going.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage.
And that one on the rookie, Charles, maybe a little too overeager.
You know how many times we talk about the quarterback having to have a clock in his head and make sure the ball gets away before the rush gets there? When you're a pass rusher, you have to know when the ball is gone and make sure you don't hit the quarterback afterwards. I know he was trying to make a play, but that time he ends up drawing the flag.
Now a toss play for Akers. Down to about the 45. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Now he's loose down the left sideline.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, this defense is circling early. A pick six there, and they are off to the races here this first quarter.
And, partner, when you get off to a first-quarter lead like this, it really frees you up defensively to take some chances, really apply some heat. And that was just a tremendous play to pick that ball off and bring it back for a score.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And it is 28-0. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
Here's Myers now to kick it away.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass. And if we kept having a rough patch, he said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
They'll run this with Akers. And they'll stop him after a gain of a couple to the 33.
That's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and has a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a 3rd down.
On 3rd down, here's a run by Akers.
Yeah, this is only going to be a gain of 2. He needed 3. It's 4th and 1.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. And it'll be touchdown here, but not before he does pick up the first. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
It seems like a short distance, but a yard in this situation, not easily done. So big compliments to the guys up front for creating some space, and especially the guy taking the snap and finding a spot, finding a sliver, an opening, and making it work.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Now it's Wilson. Little pitch and catch to the tight end, Knox. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be 2nd down.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him, because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
Wilson. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
It's another zone defense that looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Wilson.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 29-yard line.
On gain of 19 yards. 1st down, Rams.
Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Here's a run with Akers on second down.
Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a third and about 4.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
Now it's Wilson. And that is incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
Just what Seattle was hoping for. The coverage holds, and now fourth down.
Facing this big first-half deficit, they keep the field goal unit on the sideline. They're going for it.
They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Jamal Adams.
And the Seahawks are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on fourth down. Boy, they get him yet again, Charles. 5 interceptions in this game. You rarely see this, maybe a couple of times in a season, but this defense, they've been fantastic.
It's certainly an example of watching a defense that is in the zone, right? We use that term so often, but most of the time it's for people who are on offense. In this case, it's the defense as a whole, all locked in with each other, all ready to go. Well, it's hard to have vision as a runner and find a hole when there's nothing but defenders in your way. They stacked that one up really well. But give him credit. Instead of trying to bounce it out and turn it into a big play, which might have turned into a big loss, kind of just took his medicine there and took the 1 yard.
Now 2nd and 9.
Off the play fake. Moyer.
That is incomplete.
Well, one thing's for sure, they're still taking their shots downfield, even with a big lead.
No, I think it's way too early to go into a shell, so I like what they're doing. Continue to take your shots. Continue to be aggressive. It's not their job to slow themselves down.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave them trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Looking to throw. Moyer. And that is incomplete.
Not sure what happened there, but he just didn't get the right read on the coverage that time. Pass wasn't where it needed to be, and that'll send them back to the drawing board.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away.
Might have needed just one more block. As it stands, 37-yard return. And the Rams are going to start this drive in great field position as they take over.
They'll run here with Akers.
And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
2nd down, they'll go with Akers again.
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Wilson.
Pass delivered successfully to Knox on the out route.
Touchdown! Dawson Knox, a 16-yard touchdown.
And the Rams get a bit closer.
I'm not sure that they have illusions right now of, okay, we're going to score 8 times in a row and we're going to be terrific. But to get one, that was huge for him. That has to feel much better right now.
And you do have, we're still in the first half. You do have the entire second half. There's something about that goose egg that just looked bad on that board, but now they've broken it.
Yeah, broken through. Can they maintain the pace? We'll see as we go along.
Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And a touchback here as Walker will sit on this one.
At their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have been red hot, sometimes white hot here in this first half. They're just looking to add to that total right now.
And this has to serve as a reminder to myself because so many times I get wrapped up in the play calling, how they sequence things, how it's run. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's still execution. Those guys out on the field, and right now they are locked in and really looking good.
They'll try to continue to be locked in here as we get ready to approach halftime. All that for a 2-yard gain, second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
On second down, it's Walker. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line.
And quickly they get to the line.
That's good for the Seattle Seahawks.
On 1st and 10, Moyer.
And that went to the right side and incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Throwing again. Moyer. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Moyer.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they're going to have a first down, and they're in field goal range as well as they're down inside the 20. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
In motion right, that's Metcalf.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
So 3 seconds here remain in the half on as the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Glenn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. And a touchback here as Walker will sit on this one. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Throwing to start the drive. Moyer. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, didn't look his way at all in the first half, and I'll bet you the offense coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again. Moyer.
Oh, and that is incomplete.
It's rare that a receiver of his caliber would drop one pass, but that's now 2 times he's had his mitts on one and lost it.
Yeah, and I don't think that they're going to lose confidence in him, though, because of the track record. Such a good player, maybe having a bad game, but I think they'll still go to him in a critical spot.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Looking to throw. Moyer. That is caught. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Well, that's one way to convert on 3rd down, picking up 26 yards.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Pretty solid run here on 1st down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down.
Open man is chosen. He's got him.
And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle.
Robbie Chosen.
His 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Seahawks are able to add on to that lead. I tell you what, Charles, I know that you don't put a ton of stock into power rankings and things of that nature, but another score here, and 2 weeks into the season, this is maybe the most impressive team in the NFL. Would you agree?
Well, they've certainly sold me as they've sold you, and I agree with you. No question about it. They won easily last week. They're on their way to another lopsided victory here. They're definitely a team to be reckoned with, and they are serving notice to the rest of the league.
Myers connects on the PAT, and that'll increase their lead to 28.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
At their own 31-yard line.
The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. A CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late. That was,
and my goodness, another interception. And just shutting him off there. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
and they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Throwing to start the drive. Moyer.
A short one there to Freiermuth. He's got room to roam.
And finally taken down at the 4-yard line. A big play that time on the catch and run. And it'll result in a fresh set of downs.
You have to ask the question, where was the help? Because it's a little surprising to me that he'd find that much room to run this close to the end zone. He doesn't quite get there, but he sets his guys up with a 1st and goal.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
The delay of game, a costly one, as they're backed up 5 for 1st and goal. Now this time he'll look to throw. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you've got a key on because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. So an incomplete pass a moment ago, and that leads to 2nd and goal. Operating from the gun, Moyer. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14.
Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound. Metcalf motions left.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Hard throw, incomplete.
Nice call by the defense there on 3rd down. Just flood the field with extra defensive backs in their dime package. Nowhere to go with the football. Forces the incompletion.
For the Seahawks field goal. A 31-yard attempt.
Myers' kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
So they got the turnover started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. The goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. The turnover on the last drive, they had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
First down, Los Angeles.
They'll run on first down with Akers. They'll take it past the 40 to the 41, 2nd down.
Not a lot of running room there, not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out, because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
Now Wilson. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield.
But it looks like one of the DBs has it.
And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. He has been a workhorse for them in this game, and ball security hasn't been an issue until that point.
Yeah, and let's face it, when he's going to carry the ball that many times, he becomes more and more of a target for the defense, knowing that he's going to be the primary guy. They'll just send more and more players towards him, trying to make sure they knock the ball free.
And that is caught at the 10-yard line. Touchdown, Seahawks. DK Metcalf. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far.
And the Seahawks are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
We sit in quarter number 3 out in Seattle. A 2nd and 10 now.
And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
What an advantage having a lead guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Still needing 10 yards. Now it's third down.
Throwing is Wilson.
Eyes the crossing route, and he finds Pittman.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down.
Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now.
Only able to gain a couple there, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. They're going to hurry back to the line now. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. He's got his man on the crossing route. The Rams, they are on the move. They've got another 1st down.
A gain of 18 on the play. 1st down, Rams.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. Now a diving effort right sideline. He's got it.
They'll go with Akers here up the middle.
And a short gain here down to the 22. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
2nd and 9.
Here's Wilson to throw. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 9.
They'll set up the screen here to Akers.
And he is stopped just short on 3rd down. Got 9 yards, but needed 10. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
They'll run for it with Akers.
And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. He needed a yard. He didn't get anything. And this 10-play drive winds up yielding nothing. Throwing to start the drive. Moyer. Catch is made by Metcalf. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 25 yards that time.
Partner, I know we're still in the afternoon slate here. Some primetime games still on the docket, but it's going to be tough to top this effort. What an offensive performance we have seen. They have been unstoppable from the moment we began this game, and they're not holding back. They're still throwing the football here in the 4th.
They certainly are, and let me tell you something. If you're old school, you don't...
And this is caught at the 20. It's a big play there for Seattle. 46 yards.
This offense really looking polished these first couple of weeks. Here's 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 16-yard line.
Operating from the gun. Moyer. And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown of the season, all coming in this game.
And the Seahawks are on their way to a 2-0 start.
He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the 4th quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like 4th quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
Myers connects on the PAT. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And this will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Second down, they'll go with Akers again.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30.
42 yards rushing for him now to this point.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
To throw is Wilson from the gun on third down.
They'll check this down to Akers out of the backfield. And he is going to have a Rams first down. They needed 5 there on third down. He winds up getting 7.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
And now here is another interception.
Tariq Woolen picks it.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping to hold a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And this one was over a while ago as he just added on to that big lead. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
He will return this from deep in the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive.
And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them.
And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
24-yard gain on the play. First down, Los Angeles.
A give up the middle to Akers.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
Going right back to Akers.
And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. They face a third down now as they try to find a late score.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
On third down, Wilson. And that is incomplete.
We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. Now it looks like he'll throw here.
They'll try and lay this out for Chosen.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, I think it's pretty evident that any blowout isn't going to be big enough for them. They're already up 7 full touchdowns, and it's still not stopping them from throwing it deep downfield, taking their shots, trying to add more points.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, let's face it, not a lot left for them to prove in this game, but they're still throwing the football. I guess, of course, CD, you could always get the backups some work. There's new plays to try out. But some people, let's face it, they just want to run the score up. It's fun.
I love the way that you expressed that because you gave plenty of reasons why people like to do things. But ultimately, they just like to keep their foot on the gas, and they just want to tromp on teams. And what I like to see is, if you like to do that, how do you handle it when it comes back against you? On those days where someone can run it up on you, do you handle it the way that you expect your opponent to? If so, keep doing your thing.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Charles, they're still airing it out at this point despite that huge lead. And some people may be saying, well, why are they throwing the football? These guys, I guess, are just padding their stats at this point.
Yeah, there are a lot of big grins, I think, from people in their families, from themselves. You're exactly right. Pad the stats when you get an opportunity. It'll certainly help you come contract time.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The L.A. offense ready to go for their next drive.
Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves them needing about 7 here on third down.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the plays we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. What we just saw there, that's really been a common theme all afternoon.
A lot of pressure. That forced the errant pass. He's been under duress this entire afternoon. He just had to unload that one. He's fortunate it was just incomplete and not intercepted.
Here we go. It's Wilson on fourth down. Little pitch and catch to the tight end, Knox. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that will force a turnover on downs.
Let's go. Cut 19. Cut 19.
throwing on first down. Moyer. And a big loss here as he's taken down. After the sack, oh, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Back to throw. Moyer. He'll find Metcalf. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there's no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for the Seahawks, they used a favorable early